Well, today I found this photograph and I looked at it and I studied it and I had no idea what I was looking at. I could not get my bearings. Obviously, that was the Bryn Athyn Cathedral in the distance, and that sure looked like Betty Eccles's house, now the Botchnick's house on South Avenue. So I looked at it some more and then I asked my Facebook friends for some help. Emily Friesen Posey told me that that was her parents' house right there, Bert Friesen's house. And next door was the house that is now occupied by the Lindruth family. She said that that was Rich Tate's house across the street. And then Mary McCullum pointed out that the house next door was the Dunlap's house, with the black path in between them. And further, that this was the CNS Club next to the Dunlap's house. I wanted to know if I could prove it, and also identify some of the other houses in the background. So I started up Google Earth, and I found David Lindruth's house and Bert Friesen's house. There's Alden Road. And across the street is Rich and Mary Tate's house. There's the Dunlap's house. There's the Black Path going all the way up to South Avenue. And there's the CNS Club. And up on South Avenue, there's the Bostock house, the Roscoe house, the Sinisvet residence, Jeb Blair's house, then the Black Path, and then Peter Bostock's house, Scott Maddox's house, and across the street is Betty Eccles's house, now the Botchnick's house. So I looked over at the cathedral, and then I wanted to draw a line from the cathedral tower and take it down and go between the Friesen house and the Lindruth house, just like the photograph had. Oh, my line's a little too far to the right. It needs to be between those two houses and maybe a little closer to the Friesen house than the Lindruth house. Now here is a close-up of that line going between the Lindruth and Friesen residences and ending up at a point that goes right behind the garage of Heather McCurdy. Then I looked at the photograph again and went to the Botchnick residence on South Avenue. And I noticed that it lined up directly with the CNS Club. So I went back to Google Earth and I found the Botchnick house on South Avenue. And then I wanted to draw a line from that back to where I think the picture was taken from. And this is what it looks like. And look, that line goes from the Botchnick house and it crosses right over that house and then crosses right over the CNS Club. And it goes back to a point that is directly behind the garage that belongs to Heather McCurdy. Now looking at the photograph again, what is the house that's between the CNS Club and the Eccles-Botchnick residence on South Avenue? Well, if you look at the line on the left, it appears that it's the Maddox house at 2691 South Avenue. And I think it's a good bet that the house just to the right belongs to the Blairs. And what about this house behind the left chimney of Rich Tate? Let's go back to Google Earth, go to the place behind McCurdy's garage, cross Alden Road. There's Rich Tate's chimney on the left. Let's go up. Ooh, there's Sinisvet's house on South Avenue. I'll bet that's what it is. Let's go draw that line. And sure enough, it's the Sinisvet house behind the left chimney of Rich Tate. And what about the house to the right, behind the Lindruth's chimney? That has to be the house where the Roscoe's house is now, because the house to the right of it, the one that lines up directly with the cathedral tower, is the Mark Bostock residence. Just take a look at the line to the right, the one that goes up to the cathedral, and there's the Bostock house. And look at the house to the right of that, the big one behind. It's the inn at the point of Olnwick and South Avenue. But goodness knows what that house is on the extreme right, with the white pillars and second floor porch. I think I'm going to need some help from Sylvia Cooper and Martha McDonough. So it looks like my Facebook friends and I have figured out most of this photograph. And thanks to Justin Cole for pointing out that this photo taken from the cathedral tower is looking in the exact opposite direction of the original photograph that we've been looking at. Now, if you look between the Lindruths and the Friesen's house, you'll see that this photograph lines up directly with the home of Jamie and Julie Pendleton on Fetters Mill Road. Does our logic hold up? Here's the garage of the McCurdy's. There's Jamie and Julie's house. There's Fetters Mill Road. And if you go to the line, it extends to the cathedral and follow it back down. Boom. Jamie and Julie Pendleton's house. So yes, the logic does hold up.